Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Tuesday, the 5th of December 2023. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the Reserve Bank left the official cash rate on hold today, but that wasn't enough to prevent a big fall in the local share market. The S&P ASX 200 dropped nearly 1% to 7,062 points following a sell-off on Wall Street. Energy and materials stocks led the market lower. Real estate investment trusts and consumer discretionary companies were also sold off. Of the 11 sub-indices in the ASX 200, only utilities ended higher, while healthcare was flat. BHP, Fortescue Metals and Rio all dropped by more than 1%. National Australia Bank was higher, but the other major banks were lower. Woodside was off 2.5%, while Santos was down 1%. The gold companies, Newmont and Northern Star, fell sharply, while Xero and REA were also lower. Woolies and Coles were among the best performers. Origin Energy, post the failed shareholder vote yesterday, was the best performer of the top 200, rising 2.5%. Worst were the miners, with core lithium down nearly 10%. In corporate news today, Evolution Mining said it will pay a Chinese company almost $720 million for the lion's share of the North Parkes copper and gold mine in central western New South Wales. Story number 2, Israel has raised its travel warning for people coming to Australia, saying there's a potential threat to Jews following demonstrations against the Gaza war across the country. Australia was included among a swathe of countries, including Britain, France, Germany, Brazil, Argentina and Russia, for which travel advice was raised to level 2, recommending Israelis take extra precautions when visiting. The US remains at level 1, or no threat. Israel's National Security Council said that since the beginning of the war, there have been increased efforts identified from Iran and its affiliates, including Hamas and Islamic Jihad, to target Israelis and Jews around the world. A number of pro-Palestinian rallies in Australia have included anti-Semitic elements. Last week, pro-Palestinians targeted a Melbourne hotel where an Israeli family, or members of an Israeli family of murder victims and hostages of the attack, had been staying. And on Sunday, a neo-Nazi rally was held in Ballarat in regional Victoria. Story number 3, Westpac says normal services resumed early this morning after an outage due to a software upgrade. The bank started posting updates on X last night about 9 p.m. It was all about problems with mobile and online banking services. Customers complained they weren't able to see their accounts after logging into their Westpac app. More than 10,000 people reported problems accessing their accounts, outage website Down Detector said. Story number 4, Fortescue has shipped its first batch of African iron ore, just as rival miner Rio Tinto said it will spend $500 million proving up the Pilbara's next big mine to achieve first ore by 2030. Now, on Fortescue's side, the first ship departed from the Gabonese capital of Libreville this week, carrying ore from the Belinga iron ore project, according to the Financial Review. The shipment comes 10 months after Fortescue signed a mining convention with the Gabonese government, which was subsequently overthrown by a military coup in August. It isn't a major play for Fortescue, more of a proof of concept. Interesting, though. Meanwhile, Rio said it would spend $110 million on a pre-feasibility study for the Rhodes Ridge mine in Western Australia's Pilbara region. Rhodes Ridge will be a large, high-grade mine that's expected to form the backbone of Rio's flagship iron ore division in the future. First ore is not expected until the end of this decade, Rio said in a statement. And story number 5, Bank of Queensland shareholders gave the board a first strike on its remuneration report. After a pretty dreadful year for the regional bank, several influential voting advisory groups had recommended against re-electing Bruce Carter to the board, citing regulatory issues including action taken by APRA and the Financial Crimes Authority last year. That led to the appointment of an external auditor and forced the bank to set aside additional capital. Bank of Queensland reported a 70% drop in statutory profit in the past year and removed its CEO, George Frazee, despite having backed him for large financial rewards only weeks earlier. BOQ's share price is down nearly 40% since October 2021. That's it for the afternoon report for Tuesday, the 5th of December 2023. Michael Thompson and I will be back tomorrow morning with the Wednesday edition of Fear and Greed Business News. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.